Hi, John French here. Attempting to make a little video today rather than typing, so I've been going through all these problems, technical problems, trying to get it to work in this room. But I think I have it worked out now. Um, One thing I wanted to talk about was the book royalties. Um, Thank you very much for your contributions, first off. Um, it's going well. I've raised almost as much money as I wanted to raise, $4,800 actually, because one donation was made by check because the guy has gone through so many problems with unfortunately identity theft that he decided to do it by check. So he sent me a check in the mail, and so I have about $4,800 right now. And but the problem was finding, where was I going to find an attorney in the UK who was not only willing to do this, but it would be better, of course, it was somebody who was a Beefheart fan. So I was hoping that I'd find somebody who, had some kind of knowledge of Beefheart. And it turned out that one of Bill's guitar students is very interested in helping, and he lives in London because I had to have a British uh, agent to do this for me. A British, what's the term? Barrister, I think is the term. Somebody who would go represent me in England to the company, which has refused uh, to give me any information on where I stand as far as royalties go and sales and all of that. Just totally refused. So there's two companies involved now. There was Proper Records or Proper Publishing, and now there's Last Publishing. And so I'm very puzzled about the whole thing. It's been going on for years. I haven't received any royalties since 2011. I kept thinking, well, this book can't still be in the red. It's in its third printing. Why would you keep printing a book unless it's doing well? So there's something going on there that I don't understand. Anyway, that's being taken care of. And my main thing is now I have to have a lawyer in the States. I'm going to consult with the lawyer, and I have to get some kind of notarized declaration that it gives this uh, lawyer in the UK permission to represent me. So that is moving along. Okay, uh, I wanted to talk about two Magic Band CDs, live CDs. There's a 2015 and a 2017. Now, a lot of people are asking me about vinyl, and I'm just going, come on, folks. I can't really do vinyl. Um, I don't have the room to store it, for one thing. It's very expensive to produce. And so I'm just sticking with CDs. If people want to hear this on vinyl, I suppose that with enough money, and if I got the right person interested, I could probably do vinyl. But at this point, that's not possible. Anyway, I have a 2015 CD that is ready to be, it's been mixed and it's been mastered, and it's ready to be released. I have a 2017 CD that needs to be mastered, but it could also be released soon. And but the 2017 CD, the farewell tour, was done in the Liverpool Philharmonic, and they did a great job of setting up the room for us. They set up a two-tiered stage, but I could only uh, go up and perform. I didn't have a chance to rehearse with the group because we had three backup singers and four horns on eight of the songs. The backup singers were on 5, and the horns were on 8, and then the combination thereof. So what I wound up with was kind of a mess because everybody was a little distracted. We didn't have a chance to rehearse together because of sound system problems. We had to do the sound mix over again. So it was a rush show, and of course, it's like the best laid plans. It just didn't go well in terms of plans. But they did set up the stage nicely, and we had a good time doing it. I brought it home, and after I listened to it, I saw that there was a lot of errors, and thought, well, this really probably is not going to be worth trying to mix because there's so many errors. And then I went back through and I listened to it again during COVID because I had nothing better to do because I was stuck at home anyway, and decided that there was a possibility of actually salvaging the show, but it had to be studio enhanced and highly edited. So that's what I did. I spent 6 months actually going through this, listening to it, redoing vocals, adding guitars. I actually had to use some addition of horns using samples of horns because some of the parts were wrong. And most of it I could correct by taking one of the horn parts and moving a note to the other part where it wasn't where it was supposed to be. Anyway, that's done. So that's another project that's on, that I want to finish. I've got a group of original songs that I'm trying to finish also, and I would have had it finished by now if it hadn't been for the fact that I've had plagued with computer technology and just things not going right and this not working, that not working. I bought a newer computer. I've never been able to buy a new computer, but I bought a newer computer to finish the work, and I've had nothing problems with it. It just didn't work right. It never has worked right, and I'm actually using it to make this video, and I'm surprised that I was able to get it to do that. Anyway, that's another thing that I want to do is finish my original project. There's some good songs in there, some of the best stuff I've done, and some of the best drumming patterns that I've ever done. So it's kind of a fun thing, and it features also Eric Clerks on the other guitar part. I did one of the guitar parts myself, and I had Eric play the other one. We started back in 2009, and I think we did it in 2010 too. Also, Bill Harkerod's playing a solo on one, and I'm going to have a couple of other guest artists, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. Another thing that I've been dealing with for a long time, and it's really been sort of a thorn in my side, you might say, is TMR. For years, I've watched TMR Troutmass Replica come out over and over. It was number 33 in the top 100 albums of all time in the 1988 edition of Rolling Stone. That's 19 years after its release. And still, what happened was the contract got lost, okay? Because the contract was in the Herb Cohen estate. And I don't know if you remember, or if you're aware of it, but Frank Zappa and Herb Cohen went their separate ways back around the mid-70s, 1975, I think. Herb actually financed one of our albums with Frank's royalty money, which is kind of a no-no. And there's the story of it is actually in the original Bad Chain Puller. There's a little booklet in there that tells the story of that. And it's very sad that artists have to go through this kind of thing, but they do. Anyway, the contract that we signed, and it was a full band contract that we signed for Trout Mask Replica, was in Herb's files, and when he died, his estate was put up for sale, and somebody bought it as a collector's item, a legal document, and the only one in existence, apparently. So all I could do was download the PDF file because the guy who sold it, bought it. I'm sorry. The guy who sold it made a PDF copy of every page, and so you can actually read it. You can see the signatures, everything. So I'm hoping that maybe some way the Zappa Family Trust will realize that, we worked really hard on that album. As I talk about, if you've read my book, Through the Eyes of Magic, you know that it was a lot of effort on the band's part to do that. And I believe we need to be justly paid for the work. I've never worked as hard on any project, and I've never seen a group of people work as hard on any project as these guys did. Jeff Cotton, Mark Boston, Bill Harkrode, and myself. So I hear that it's going to be released again, and I can't believe. Oh, by the way, I would like to say this right now. If there is a collector out there who has a complete list of all the releases of Trout Mask Replica that have been put out so far, because the Zappa Family Trust owns the masters. I'd love to see it because it's been put out over and over and over again, and I think we did get paid for this last thing, 0.75%. We got a little token payment from them, but it would be nice if somehow there was some fairness displayed as far as the way this goes, because Jack White and Ahmet Zappa made the most money off Trout Mask Replica. The band barely made anything from the last release. So what we're trying to do is get something that's a little more equitable. And I'm hoping we can somehow do something so that we don't have to go to, take this into a courtroom or go through a legal thing, because that takes forever. And they would love that, I'm sure, because the lawyers get paid by the hour, so they make, a couple $100 an hour for working on it, so they'll drag it out for years. And what I'd really like to do is get some kind of understanding between Zappa Family Trust, Jack White, and myself on behalf of the band. So I'm working on that. The Trout Mask Replica band actually did 4 Zoom meetings. We did one with Samuel Andreeff as host. We did one with Steve Froy, the webmaster for beefart.com. We did one with Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, who's a big fan of the album. And we did one with Billy Bob Thornton, and who is a big fan also of the album. And they were all very enjoyable to do. And it was sort of really, really nice for us to have this Trout Mask band reunion even though we weren't in the same room, we could still interact with each other through the Zoom meeting. And Bill did a lot of work to set that up because he works with Zoom all the time. So it was it was kind of a headache for him getting us four ignoramuses so that we knew what we were doing on the Zoom meetings. But now we're doing we actually got through it and did them. Um, so we're hoping. Right now, it looks like we've got an investor, we've got a bit of a budget to work with, and but each of the Zoom meetings that we had, we were having so much fun they drug on for almost 3 hours each. So you've got probably close to 12 hours of footage, and so that's a lot of work for an editor to go through. But we found one guy who seems really interested in it, who's got a big investment in the band anyway, because he really enjoys the band. So we're hoping that's going to come together this year. And we also have this is something that I want to do. I want to do drum videos, and so far I've been very unsuccessful at the technical side of it. And so I got bogged down because my computer wasn't working properly and I kept having problems with it. I've been plagued literally with computer problems for about 2 years now. And, sometimes I'd like to take a shotgun and just blow it away. But what I'm hoping is that I can get it to work well enough that I can do some videos. I have an overhead camera, and as you can see, I have a front webcam as well. And what I want to do is just sit and go through some of the more complex tunes from Trout Mask and from Decals. Those are the two albums where the drumming really kind of shines in the extent that I'm playing very odd time signatures sometimes, but I'm playing complex rhythms. And so I've always wanted to do a drum video, and that has or a series of drum videos, I should say, that have these things. And people have said, well, you could come to my studio and but they want you to do it all in like 2 or 3 days. And this is something that I have to actually spend some time on each piece and review it, because it's not like I play these things every day. So what I'm trying to do now is just get my act together here. That's why I have this background. And the lighting, I actually installed lights in my studio. I had to crawl up in the dusty roof attic space area, and I put in some decent lighting now. So I think that I could pull this off, and I'm going to try to at least get started on that by the end of this year. All right, that wraps it up for me, and I'll just go back over the things. The book royalties are going well. I've got a lawyer in England, as I said. The Magic Band CDs, there's two of them. One's mastered. I want to get those out. I think I'm going to do probably Indiegogo to do them, and that way they can, even after they're paid for, because with Indiegogo, you can actually sell the stuff out front and then use the money to do the expenses. And I'd like not to use my own money, because I've done that before and it doesn't always work out. I'd like to get my originals project on the road and hopefully get it done this year. I'm working on the Trout Mask replica royalties to see if I can come up with a little bit better rate for the guys. And Zoom meetings. Um, we're going to do the Zoom meetings, and we do have an investor, and it is making progress. And also the drum videos. Like I said, these things are things that have been on my bucket list for a while. I want to get these things done. So I'm just letting you know that I'm still hanging in there and working at it. Um, and thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you again. All right?